Hey, friends, welcome to episode 7 of The Stride. Today, we're going to be talking to Ukrainian born triathlete from Austria, Danyil Odynets, who's on his way to the Ironman competition in Taiwan in April and hopefully to the World Championships thereafter. Before we go into this very exciting interview with him, where he explains a lot about the tactics and strategy in triathlon, also like his gear selection, what he eats, how he prepares, how he thinks about it. Just a few words about the logistics. So I know that we originally said that we're going to publish a new episode every Wednesday, and we're now basically a week and a day late. And we realized that once we went from monologues to interviews, pushing out an episode every week is more than we can currently do. So we're going to every other week release schedule from now on. And today we're just one day late because of technical reasons. I hope you can accept our apology for that, but we'll try to stick with every Wednesday from now on. But anyway, welcome to the Stride, and I hope you enjoyed this interview with Danyil. I think that he's an extremely promising triathlete, considering his level of play already at this very young age. And so, also, if you're a sponsor looking for a brand athlete, I think you'd better pay attention. So here we go. Hello, good morning, Daniel. How are you?
Good morning, Yukas. I'm great. Thank you for asking. I'm a bit worried
How's
but excited.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I think that translates to a good discussion. So it's mid-October now in Austria. Is the winter coming already, or how's
No,
it looking?
it means rainings are coming. But
Okay,
yeah, Austria is really rainy country, but it's really
okay,
beautiful. Now mountains are extremely beautiful. Fall is coming. Mushrooms also in the mountains. Also a bit of season, so I can
yeah,
go to mountains, meet with friends. Really amazing time.
yeah.
And
It's definitely like Austria is one of those countries that I definitely want to visit. I used to be an avid mountain climber, so Austria is definitely on that list, but that climbing is a little bit on break for me right now. But so okay, hey, welcome to the Stride. We're excited to have you with us today. I think that you have a really interesting and inspiring story, and considering your age and everything, you've already accomplished a lot. So I think that there's a lot that we will hear about Daniel in the future. But before we go to the future, let's go to the past. So let's meet little Daniel. Where did you grow up in? Where did your story get started?
I was born in Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, s- up to my teens, I was living in Ukraine. I changed my housing for 3 times, so I was living near the forest for the first 7 years, and every morning before school, my mom was running and I was cycling, and not before school, before the kindergarten. Then I moved
Oh, really?
to countryside, and there was extremely beautiful place, um, lakes, forests, and a lot of friends. And you know that countryside life. You cycle with your friends, go to ponds, go to forests, and
Yeah.
afterwards I moved back to Kiev, and I continued my studying there. All the time I was studying in Kiev up to my 18th.
Okay. Okay. So okay. So it sounds like you had a sort of a natural environment to get into sports, and not just the environment, but also your mother. So is she a competitive runner, or just a lifestyle runner?
She's more like lifestyle runner. She runs. She's now 43, and she runs approximately 5 times per week, approximately 6-7 Ks in comfortable pace. She took for 2 times part in 5K running events, and she does it for sport and for the total health. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
she's
I
been
think that,
doing it for like the whole her life.
yeah. It sounds like she set you up with a good example then.
For sure. She was always my
Yeah.
inspiration. Um, she wa- uh, she uh, she is always active, so do I. From my early childhood, quite every Sunday we were going to horse ride. Most of the
Yeah.
time I was fishing near the horse station while she was horse riding, but in the end she always allowed me to ride for like 15-20 minutes, and it was a really cool time.
Yeah. Do you still do horse riding too?
Uh, I've not been doing it for 3 years, but she does it every Saturday now.
Yeah, but I mean, you like, do you still ride horses,
No,
Daniel?
no, I've been not doing it for 3 years.
Okay, but I assume that you have a pretty busy schedule nowadays.
Yeah,
But
yeah, for sure.
so you got into like running and cycling already from a very early age. But did you
I,
also like start swimming back then?
Actually, I started running just when I got 13. So back
Yeah,
that time, I was just cycling sometimes with my family, sometimes with friends. Also, when I was approximately 12, for some while, my mother took me to the swimming club, but it took like 2 years,
yeah.
uh, maybe less even. So mostly I started swimming already when I got 16, and when I already had some mind to sign up for my first triathlon.
I think that it's an incredible story. Like you're just the acceleration is crazy. Like you're going like very young to very hardcore level. So did you where did you get the idea for triathlons that you want to become a triathlete?
When I was 16, I got to the running club called Sunday Runs. It
Yeah,
was organized by Andrei Onistrat. He used to own one of the biggest Ukrainian banks, and really cool community was gathered. So we made a run and afterward discussed some news. And I, like 16 years old guy, it was like super interesting for me. We discussed all the news, discussed possibilities. And he was doing triathlon, and I was like triathlon, and he was doing Ironman. It was
yeah.
something like so far, so scary, so impressive that it really excited me. And I was thinking about it for a while, watching some videos on YouTube, and it really inspired me. And when I got when I got 18
Yeah.
on my birthday on 24th December, when the Christmas is coming, I bought a slot for Ironman Barcelona. Yeah, it was like pretty rapid start,
Yeah,
but
that's pretty rapid. Okay, let's take a step back here. Let's assume that the listeners don't know much about triathlon or what Ironman means. I think that it's important to describe the scale of this commitment you took at that age. So okay, so what are the main sports in triathlon? Like what are the three sports?
basically, triathlon, I wouldn't call a triathlon a street sport because
Yeah,
there's so many things coming together. Firstly, it's swimming. Of course, you begin with it and you should not to draw.
yeah.
Afterwards,
Let's
you
avoid
should
that.
cycle, and
Yeah.
afterwards you should run. And transition is also a very important part, which you should, of course, practice not to lose time there.
Yeah,
Also, you should do stretching to be productive and not to get injuries. and do some gym work for sure to keep your body strong and to prevent injuries. And
Yeah.
nutrition also is a really crucial part because sometimes you eat 120, 130 grams of carbohydrates per hour, and your body should be capable to absorb it.
Yeah, yeah. It's so then there's the different versions of it, like the length versions. So can you explain that a little bit and then explain why Ironman is special?
Uh, Basically, triathlon is divided on two parts: short distance triathlon and long distance triathlon. Short distance triathlon is super sprint and Olympic distance, and long triathlon is 70.3 Ironman and 140.6 Ironman. And
Yeah,
the strategy is completely different. It depends whether it's usually in short course triathlon, it's a group start, so you need to be really fast swimmer, a
yeah,
moderate cyclist, and a good runner. Because
yeah,
usually people cycle together, and you need to get to the first pack to after the swim to get to be in a good position. And in
yeah.
70.3 and Ironman, it's mostly about managing your own resources. It depends completely on you. You can be a weak swimmer, but the best cyclist and the best runner, and you can win. Which usually it's not possible if you can't
Yeah.
swim normal in a short distance triathlon. You won't ever win if you can't swim with the first pack of
Okay, yeah,
the
yeah.
end.
So in Ironman, so you start with swimming. How much swimming is involved?
Now I try to do 3 to 4 times a week swimming, but
Yeah,
my big everything began with some failure. Also, I started
yeah.
triathlon completely on myself, and I learned how to swim on myself. So I like made 4K swims, only 4K,
Okay.
push as hard as possible, and of course I got some failures. And
Yeah,
when I moved to Austria, I got new few people who really helped me to improve my swimming. And now I have a coach, Andreas Madelmeier, who with whom I swim 3 to 4 times a week, and he stays on the swimming board and improves all my mistakes, and
yeah.
my swimming gets better.
Okay, so in the race then, how long is the swim distance?
In my races, swimming takes 3.8 kilometers, open water.
Yeah.
Um, yes,
So
in
yeah,
my
it's I think that it's like for people who haven't extensively swam in open water, besides just going to the beach, like I think that 3.8 kilometers is a long distance to swim in any condition, but then when you do it in open water and in natural conditions, like that in itself is probably something that most people will never do actually.
For me, it's really interesting because it's much more interesting than swimming in the pool and counting
Laps.
the lines on the floor. There is a pond near me, and there is a lot of fish. And when you make a session, you can see like a giant catfish for 40 kilos get really
Oh
scared,
yeah,
excited,
yeah,
and keep going. So
yeah,
I like open water. It's I would say that it's a bit another swimming than in the swimming pool.
yeah.
Because you need to orientate on the course, not to get lost. Also, you can't push from the boards of the pool.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yes, um, but the basics keeps the same.
Okay, and so 3.8 kilometers, and how long? Like, what would be a good time for you, Daniel? Like today, like what's your aim at the moment for
My
covering the
my
distance?
aim is to get somewhere closer to 50 minutes.
Yeah,
Um, like on the day, I have the best swimming split in Klagenfurt. It was a pond swim, and I was swimming alone. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to catch the pack, and I was swimming in a comfortable pace. And I
yeah.
made 56 minutes split, uh, which is not what I aim for, but uh, I was pretty happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you should be. So is like in that race, like I've watched quite a few triathlons, and like especially the beginning of the swim section, it looks a little bit chaotic. So
Yeah,
so how does
sometimes
that feel like?
sometimes it feels painful, especially for people who wear Garmin's or another watches. They hit really strong. It's really painful
Yeah,
sometimes. Uh, usually for my last two triathlons, I, uh, I'm usually somewhere near to the front of the pack, and
yeah.
I have not too many people with me. And I was racing Ironman Frankfurt in August, and Germans are pretty fast swimmers, and we were in swim skins, which made swimming really painful.
Oh, okay. Is there like strategy to the swimming part like how you want to position? Besides obviously trying to be in front of the pack so that you don't have a lot of people kicking you in the face when you're trying to swim. But is there other like how much thought and effort do you need to put into like strategy in during the swim?
Strategy always is an important part, especially in long distance triathlon, because your
Yeah,
day is approximately 9 hours, and you need to manage your resources and to do not to over push anywhere. So in swimming, especially for me, I try to swim in a comfortable pace because I
yeah,
have this I have still the whole day long, and I need to be capable of doing cycling and running afterwards. So I try
yeah,
to save my resources, probably draft anybody, also take the most appropriate lines to save time and
yeah.
my strengths.
Okay. And well, and I think that the one thing that sets the swim section apart from cycling and running, um, as far as I can tell, I'm no expert, but is that that during the swimming you can't refuel yet, so like you can't really have snacks while you're
Usually, before the race in the morning, I
yeah,
have usually two toasts with peanut butter and some marmalade.
yeah,
Um, before also 2 hours before the race, I start drinking isotonic drink, approximately
yeah,
90 grams of carbs. And I drink 1 liter of water for 2 hours before the race. For these 2 hours, I
yeah,
drink this bottle. And approximately 15 minutes before the race, I intake approximately 60 grams of carbs, like gel, not
yeah,
caffeine, just gel. And yeah, for sure, during the swim you can't eat, but it takes less than an hour, so your body has resources
yeah,
to cover everything of it. And just after the swim, I have a gel into my back pocket. So when I run on the into the transition, I quickly eat the gel, take
yeah.
approximately 40 to 60 more grams of carbohydrates, and then cycling begins.
Okay. Yeah, you have a very specific like dietary plan for this. Does the weather impact this? So if it's like significantly colder or hotter or if there's a lot of wind, does that affect your fueling plan?
For sure, the temperature influences the plan. Cause when the temperature is high, you sweat way more, and you need to absorb more sodium, and you can adapt your nutrition plan for it. And when the weather is colder, you can drink a bit less, a bit less. It
Okay.
also influences how you keep yourself fueled on the race.
Yeah.
But for carbs, everything stays the same.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's more about how much your body can absorb
Yes,
and not
yes,
so
yes.
much. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
your sweat ratio can differ on the conditions.
Yeah. So let's then like transition to the cycling part. Um so can you walk us through like the whole transition? So you reach to the shore.
Yeah,
Now
you
you're
should.
done with the swimming. Then what happens?
Uh, After entering from swimming, you need to keep yourself calm, of course. Do everything organized, not to be chaotic. Better to do one thoughtful action than three like rushing.
Yeah,
Of course, transition is like another sport on which I focus some my time, and I spend some time to practice it. So
yeah,
you run, you firstly remove the wetsuit or swim skin, then you remove with one action cap with goggles, put
yeah,
them into the wetsuit not to get lost, a bit put it to the hips, and then you get to your transition bags. Then you remove the wetsuit, put on the helmet, put on the bib number, and run to the bike.
yeah. And is it allowed to have like a coach helping you there, or is it that you're all by yourself at this transition stage?
Like for the whole triathlon, it's not
Yeah.
allowed to ask for any help from the side,
Okay.
or you get a disqualification. So you basically
Okay.
carry all your resources, so you know where to take it. Probably self-need station, but I never used it to be honest. But you know on which nutrition point you can take appropriate nutrition, or you take some nutrition with you. Probably some. Yeah, probably some painkiller if something happens. Hopefully, I never face this situation, but you carry everything you probably will need for finishing the race.
And that's also true then for the cycling part. Is that correct? That you're not allowed to get drinks handed to you by the support team.
Uh, the support team is organized by the race organizer, and from only them you can assist for help. And yeah, they provide you basically all drinks and nutrition you don't carry with you.
Oh, okay, okay. So there is okay, because I was trying to figure out like how do you pack all the like water and everything you need
All
for
5 liter
for the
of water.
cycling. Yeah, yeah. Okay, but so okay. So it's different than in, let's say, pro cycling, where the teams have their own support teams who manage their, everyone has their own favorite drinks and stuff like that. So but for you it's everyone gets the same treatment, but and it's from the race organizers.
Yes, yes, for sure. Everyone is in equal conditions to enable the race to be fair.
Yeah,
Uh, I think it's equal and to everyone, cause not everyone can take like 20 supporters, which will help him
yeah,
to race easier. So yeah, like transitions are usually placed every 20, 25 kilometers one from another, and you can collect gels, bars, water, and isotonics from hydration points. Usually, I can take I take only gels sometimes and water.
yeah. Okay. And like do you get like a list of what's available before the race so that you can figure out what you need to bring for yourself, or is it always the same thing?
It's pretty always the same on pretty any hydration point. You can collect water and
Yeah,
gels. It's only thing I need in. Usually, like my main nutrition on the bike is mixes, but when if anything I lose the bottle with a mix, I can collect few gels and cover that shortage.
yeah.
And
So okay,
water
so
for
that you
sure.
don't have like a single point of failure there. Yeah.
Yeah,
How
sometimes
long how long is the cycling part then?
in long distance triathlons,
Yeah,
full Ironman cycling takes 180 kilometers. And it's probably the main part of the race. Also, it
yeah,
takes like basically half of the time. And to be one of the first triathletes, you need to cycle hard. And
yeah,
to cycle fast, not hard, because you need to run 42 kilometers afterwards. And
yeah,
going to cycling, probably for me, it's probably the biggest place of growth. Because probably cycling is one of my favorite parts of the sport, but comparing like with running, I'm way better runner than cyclist. Because I started cycling when I already was a runner, and like I always wanted to beat my some records every training. I was training on my
Yeah.
own, and I didn't know the complete strategy. And I'm still a bit not efficient on the bike, and that's what we'll do during the winter. And
Yeah.
my coach is pretty optimistic that if I work thoroughly during the winter, I can become like completely another level. If I improve cycling, I will be like completely
Yeah.
another
So in the cycling part, I'm very interested in the cycling. So it's close to 200 kilometers, but I was 180 kilometers that
180
you're
kilometers.
covering.
Yeah,
Yeah. And how much, like, can you tell me, like, what how many watts are you putting out, like, for that time, like, on average?
not enough to be honest. Um, My coach says that if I do the winter productively, I can improve 40 watts. And for the World Championship in Nice in September, I can add approximately 20 more watts. And
Yeah.
at that time, it will be like 280 average and normalized a bit higher. I really hope that it will be so. uh, my,
280 average. That is still impressive. So your FTP is a little over 300?
I made 308 watts for 1 hour on some race in July.
Yeah.
Uh, like my problem is that I can push good power. My muscles are capable of doing it, but I consume too much energy, and on some point the fat oxidation stops, and that's why I can't push higher. And
Yeah.
while I have running afterwards, I need to play thoughtful and to push a bit lower watts than I would rather do
Yeah.
to be better in the end.
Yeah. Okay, so what sort of a bike is it then? Is it a road bike, or what sort of a bike do you use?
Uh, I did my first triathlon on just a road bike, and I got
Yeah.
second place in Ironman Barcelona. And
Yeah.
I got a second place in my age group and got a qualification for the World Championships.
Yeah.
And now, hopefully, I have a good TT bike, Cube Aerium C68 SLT with some upgrades. Uh, it's like really a combination of everything. My dream, my pleasure. I enjoy riding it every day, every time. And yeah, now it's a triathlon bike, and I'm happy to have it.
Okay. How much does a bike like that weigh? I'm curious.
Uh, To be honest, triathlon bikes are not that light. I guess approximately 11 kilos, but if I get all nutrition inside, it will be like close to 15. Because I
Okay.
need to carry
Okay.
a lot of drinking mix, water, and gels with me.
All right. Yeah. So is there any other, like, differences between, like, if you take a good road bike and a good triathlon bike, what are the main differences between the two?
It always depends on the course. Triathlon bike has usually you can keep your shoulders more together and get in more aerodynamic position, which helps you to go faster on flats. However, on downhills you have a bit less control, and usually on a road bike you can get even a bit more down, which will help you to be more aerodynamic. And when going uphill, the weight difference also plays a role, because usually a road bike weighs approximately 3 kilos lighter than a TT bike.
Okay. So there are actually a lot of differences there.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
depends.
actually know that. Yeah.
It depends on the course. Like example, GTN Global Triathlon Network made some research on Nice bike course and discovered there is pretty no difference between TT bike and a road bike. But like on a flat, you can push few kilometers, 2, 3 kilometers faster on a TT bike because it's more aerodynamic.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, like, over like over these distances, every little benefit that you get has a lot of time to multiply. So it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's then move to the last transition. So now you're finished with the 180 kilometers of cycling, and please, Daniel, tell us what happens next.
I'm really proud that I finally got knowledge how to make a proper dismount, and I shouldn't run anymore in bike whips. So of course, transition is a part which you practice a lot at, and
Yeah,
usually I win like 30 seconds from my closest competitors on the transition. So I made a
yeah,
dismount, run with the bike, put the bike on the point, get to the to the bags, to the running bags. I have everything packed in my head, like Garmin, glasses, a few gels. So I
yeah,
simply put off the helmet, put on running shoes, and I keep running. It takes like 15 seconds or something. And already when I run, I put the bib number on the front. I put
yeah,
a Garmin on me and glasses and hat. So I do it already. I do it already already running.
yeah. Okay, so actually, there's an interesting detail there. So you're tracking your the different parts of the race with different electronics as well. So you have like what do you use when you're swimming, or do you
Uh,
use any
Nothing.
not,
I
nothing?
try to orientate on my feeling, not to over push. Usually in a group already before start, you can negotiate
Yeah,
with some guys. Hey, how fast you're gonna swim, and you can make some coalition and try to swim together. And
yeah,
like one of the most important parts in swimming, especially in long distance triathlon, it's not to over push. So
yeah, yeah.
you'd better always swim like 1 meter, 1 minute slower, because if you swim it 1 minute faster, you will cycle probably like 7 minutes slower afterwards.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah,
Also, you'll get into deficit with energy, and it
yeah,
will make you a negative impact afterwards. On
yeah,
the
and
bike, I have power meter pedals and bike computer. I
yeah,
try not to, on trainings. I always also use HRV band from
yeah.
Garmin, but I never use it while racing. Cause I
Okay,
orientate on watts and on feelings mostly. And on the
yeah. I
run, I
think
put
that
on.
makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, I,
And
I think that HR is a great tool for practice, but for racing, like your subjective like feelings, I think are more important than the exact HR
yes,
numbers.
yes, exactly. And on
Yeah,
the run, I orientate on my watch, and the most important tracker for me is minutes per kilometer usually, and my feeling. So I try to
yeah,
keep pretty steady pace, not to over push on the beginning. Because
yeah.
always after the bike, you wanna run your first few kilometers really fast, but it will
Okay,
make you in the end a negative impact, and which you don't want. Because that's why I try to keep my pace as steady as possible during the whole race. I always have a dream in the like 10 kilometers to run like 20 seconds faster, but probably in future.
okay. So what's your target pace then in the run?
Like now, I can run 3 hour. I ran 3 hour marathon, exactly three
Yeah,
hour marathon, despite the crash. I crashed in
yeah.
Frankfurt, and I had like 15 centimeters robbed of my skin, and I kept racing for 7 more hours. And
That's crazy.
afterwards, I managed to deliver a 3 hour marathon uh, on the course with many turns. My coach says if we improve my bike performance, I can probably like have approximately to 40 marathon after the bike. I hope.
That yeah. So and like yeah, please remind me what's the distance that you run in an Ironman then?
42 kilometers, 42 kilometers and 200 meters.
Yeah, just um, I, like full disclosure, I've tried to run a marathon once, and and I burned out at like 31 kilometers,
Uh,
and so like but but that wasn't preceded by 180 kilometers of cycling and 3.8 kilometers of swimming. So I just tip off my hat for you. Like that, the amount of effort that goes into an Ironman is just it's amazing. It really is.
yeah, like you burn more than approximately 9,000 calories during the race. So
Yeah,
afterwards, you wanna eat all junk food possible, because when you're training, when you are a few days before the race, you eat super healthy. Uh, you try to be super patient with it, and
yeah.
after the race, yes, you can eat cakes. It's my pleasure.
Yeah. And then it doesn't need to be a guilty pleasure either. You know that you well earned it. Uh, so it's actually like that. Like then if you've ran marathons before as well, so um, how's the approach different when it's in a triathlon setting versus when you're just running a marathon? How would you compare the two?
Uh, when you're running a marathon, you can easily, like just a marathon, you can easily run your gas too, approximately, and your pace is higher. And when you do it in Ironman, you already made a swim and a bike, so your resources are already exploded a bit and not full.
Yeah,
So you need to a bit decrease pace, and also the training and approach for it differs, because for marathon you do more fast works than for Ironman, because
yeah.
on Ironman you work more on fats oxidation and in Ironman, and on marathon you can still have some carbs fueled into your body.
And how about like psychologically speaking? Is there a difference between the two? Of course, like the calories play into this, the overall fatigue. You've already been up for so long at this point and everything, like what's going on between your ears? Like does it change the way that you think about the effort?
You mean between marathon and Ironman, or
Yeah.
just what's going on the race? Like
The
approaches.
difference between the two, because the reason why I'm asking this is that I think that there's a lot more people who have ran a marathon and they maybe have an experience of how that feels. So I'm trying to figure out like how is the feeling of it different, or and your thinking different between the two.
I guess the mental strategy is pretty similar. You try to listen to your body. You try
Yeah,
not to overpace. You try to fuel properly, and you always try to find some small targets. Because if you beginning the Ironman after the swim, and you like, oh, I have 7.5 hours left afterwards. It's
yeah,
a pretty scary feeling. And if you divide the whole race on small transitions, or on that transition I can receive few tasty gels, or they will on that point I'll meet my friends. It
yeah,
makes the race way more easier, because you divide, or like on marathon you can concentrate on every aid station, which is approximately every 3 kilometers, and you're like,
yeah,
oh, they'll get some ice, they'll get some water, something tasty, and it makes the race way more easy. And
yeah,
after the 30 kilometer, pretty always you have already the fight with yourself in your head. That's like it's hard,
yeah,
it's painful, but you already feel that approximately in 40 minutes I will get to my destination, and you know that feeling that uh, during every race you feel pain, but
yeah.
afterwards you feel yourself proud. And the
Of
pain
course.
forgets, and proud left with you is that moment when you cross the finish line, say this hey, and
Yeah,
everyone welcomes you, and it's amazing feeling.
yeah. So what's your current overall record time on Ironman then? All
It,
three combined.
it was 8 hours 58 minutes in Frankfurt in August this year. However, I
Yeah.
crashed on the bike on the 30-kilometer mark because it was super wet, super
Yeah.
slicky. As I mentioned, I robbed a lot of skin. I a bit damaged the
Yeah.
bike, and but first I thought that my race would be over, but I managed to stand up. I tape myself close during an Ironman. If you won a race, you can't assist for anybody's help, and you like
Yeah.
need to tape yourself by your own. I jumped afterwards. I jumped on the bike and uh, finished the bike split, finished the running split, and it was still my best time. But if I didn't have a failure, I would suggest the race would be approximately 20 minutes faster, and
Yeah.
I would manage to receive a pro license.
Yeah. No, it's pretty amazing that like first of all, like can you actually like can you describe the crash? I understand that it was a pretty bad crash, and I'm just happy um that you're okay now. But what happened there in Frankfurt?
Like everything was as always. I was feeling comfortable. I got on the round turner, like the round, and I was like going on the left side, then switching to the right side, and simple tires didn't manage to hold the ground. It wasn't a hard turner. The speed was also not dramatically high, like 37 kilometers per hour or something, and I was sliding on my side for approximately 8 meters, and afterwards I got to the 4 hour yard, and but hopefully just skin, nothing serious was damaged, and all systems were working fine afterwards, hopefully.
I'm happy to hear that. But yeah, it's like those like bike crashes can be really brutal. So I'm really happy that you've pulled out fine, and you're good to continue with your career. So if we change the perspective now to future, like what's next? Like where do you set your goals, and like do you have like different goals for like immediate goals and long term goals? Like what's the how do you approach this like
Uh, yeah.
development as a whole?
Uh, in career, as in a race, it's important to divide all steps on small targets. So the next race I think I'm preparing for is Ironman Taiwan, where I wanna receive my qualification for World Championships. I hope to deliver a sub 830 race there. That's why I already start preparing for that race in April. Um, that race wasn't forwarded for 2 years, so the last race was in 2022, and it was the fastest split was 9.5 hours, despite the course is not too hilly. Uh, that's why I'm pretty excited also to get a good position on the Asian race. And the main race of the next season should be Ironman Nice World Championships. It's completely another race because there's a dramatic climb where you gain uh, approximately 1700 meters for the 60 kilometers. So it's really dramatically hard, and
Yeah,
it's super important not to overpush. I have an
yeah.
experience racing there, and I already know some mistakes which I shouldn't make in 2025. And before going to the pro division, I would dream to win an world championships in U24 category.
Okay. So to get there, like where are you currently in terms of how are you funding this? So you already have sponsors, I assume, but like how does that work?
Now I have two main sports sponsors. It's Hammer Nutrition and Mass Sports Sportswear.
Yeah,
Um Mass Sports Sportswear wears me, gives me all clothes, and Hammer Nutrition keep myself fueled. And mostly everything is covered from my own pocket, and I'm a
yeah,
student. I receive some scholarship in the university, and this sport is pretty costly for me. That's why I'm serving for some sponsors who could help to develop my career.
Yeah. And I think that triathlon is growing, and it's getting more and more coverage too, so that it's actually like covered nowadays more and more also by mainstream media. And I'm curious, like, how many people are there typically when you're racing, especially in the bigger races? Like, how many people are there on scene? Can you describe that a little bit?
On the Redman race, there are approximately 2,800 people, or 3,000 people. So it's really a massive community. Everyone is super ambitious. Everyone has his or her goals to achieve, and it's completely another people. If you simply walk into the city, you never meet so ambitious, so big concentration of ambition people with so big goals.
Yeah. Yeah, and like it's going to be, when is the Taiwan race going to happen?
It's gonna be 14th April 2025.
Yeah. Okay. So so you're right now you're going into like really deep into training season now.
Yeah, so now I get back to all trainings, and till November I should gain my previous form, and afterwards I should start working on volumes, on
Yeah.
long, a bit boring, but require trainings to improve my fat oxidation. Because it's always fun to ride approximately gas 2 and have fun, but to get gains required for long distance triathlon, you need sometimes to ride like 150, 160 watts for 5 hours.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think that uh, Arnold Schwarzenegger has said something insightful there, that like something about like boring on the training on the boring stuff, and like the more you do it, the better you'll be off. That it's not just about doing the like clever bits of training, but doing just putting in the hours and just the amount of effort, and that's your ticket to winning. If you it's almost like if you just train more than any other, then you will eventually be better than any other, and it's sort of simple as that. And I think that Arnold probably knows what he's talking about. So,
probably he does. And
yeah.
it's super crucial. Yeah, who wins? It's the person who trains properly for longer, without
Yeah.
injuries, without few months off, and eventually it pays out. So now
Yeah.
we with coach have some strategy to which we wanna stick, and we are very excited for 2025 season. It
Yeah.
should be completely another level,
Yeah, well,
I
we're
hope.
we're excited with you. So really looking forward to tracking your career and progress, and hopefully also helping you out there. So okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, Daniel. Thank you so much for this interview. Any thoughts you want to share with anyone before we close this off?
For myself, I would say that I'm super determined. I have goals and I have dreams which I wanna achieve. And from my side, I try to do everything on the best possible way, to do
Yeah,
everything properly, stick to all negotiations. Because I know how important it to be trustworthy, and uh, how important appropriate people are. And
yeah,
I hope together we could achieve our goals.
yeah. Thank you so much, Daniel, and I wish you great training and great success in Taiwan.
Thank you, I appreciate it, and I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, all right. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into Stride, where we elevate the game for emerging talent in niche sports. Before you go, here's a quick recap of what Next Stride is all about. At Next Stride, we're driven by one mission: to revolutionise how athletes in niche and emerging sports are recognised and supported. we connect athletes and federations and brands through a trusted, transparent platform, creating real opportunities for growth and long-term success. Whether you're an athlete, federation, or a brand, NextStride ensures your achievements, support, and sponsorships are recognized and rewarded. To athletes, join NextStride to get verified recognition for your achievements and access sponsorships that value your potential. To sports federations, partner with us to drive recognition, improve operations, and open new sponsorship avenues for your athletes. To brands, looking for authentic connections with athletes and fans in niche sports, we provide a diverse range of talent offering transparency and superior return on investment. Visit us at nextstride.com to learn more. And a special thank you to Arttu Silvast, who composes and produces all of the music and audio for Stride. We'll see you next time. Keep pushing forward.